So much has changed this past year, but one thing has stayed the same: our need for the mothers in our lives. When we're most weary, moms continue to nurture, encourage, and model selflessness. Mothers often seem to hold the world together. In big ways and small, we acknowledge all you do. Center stage and behind the scenes, tangible and intangible. We thank God for how you love and support. A care package of favorite things, a home-cooked meal, a note that makes us laugh, a full-bodied hug, a gentle word of advice, a clean house when we come home. We celebrate the young mothers who nurture their little ones with their own bodies, the mothers who dedicate their time to fostering the gifts of their children, the grandmothers who remember every birthday, the mother figures and godmothers who give of their resources, time, and laughter. In person or miles away, the mothers and mother figures in our lives bless us, and we're so grateful. You deserve more than one day of gratitude, because you give of yourself every day in so many ways. Still, we pause today to acknowledge you and thank God for you. Happy Mother's Day.
Good morning, Vision. How are you? Happy Sunday celebration to you. From wherever you are to right here in this sanctuary, we welcome you. So get comfortable, put your feet up, get your coffee. We're going to have an hour of song and celebration, some talk, some prayer. You know how it goes. If this is your first time visiting Vision, welcome, and happy Mother's Day to all. We celebrate the divine feminine here on this day, which means all of us, actually. So happy Divine Feminine Day. I want to read this Mother's Day note that was written by Amy Young. She writes, "Happy Mother's Day for all mothers. We celebrate you. And we celebrate all aspects, good and bad, of motherhood. To those who experience loss through miscarriage, failed adoptions, or running away, we mourn with you. To those who walk the hard path of infertility, fraught with pokes and prods and tears and disappointment, we walk with you. Forgive us when we say foolish things. We don't mean to make this harder than it is. To those who are foster moms, mentor moms, spiritual moms, the world needs you. Thank you for doing that. To those who have warm and close relationships with your children, we celebrate you. To those who have disappointment or heartache or distance with your children, we sit with you. To those who have lost a child this year, we mourn with you. To those who have lost a mother this year, we grieve with you. To those who experienced abuse at the hands of your own mother, we acknowledge you. To those who lived through driving tests and medical tests and overall testing of motherhood, we are better for having you in our mindset. To those who are single and long to be married and mothering your own children, we support your intention with love. To those who have chosen not to become a mother, we understand you. To those who step parent, we walk with you on those complex paths. To those who lavish love on grandchildren, enjoy. To those who envisioned lavishing love on grandchildren and that dream has not yet happened, we vision with you. To those who are empty nesters, we grieve and rejoice with you. To those who have placed children for adoption, we commend you for your selflessness and remember that you always hold that child in your heart. This Mother's Day, we walk with you all. Mothering is not for the faint of heart, and we have real warriors in our midst. We acknowledge all the ways we mother and nurture the world. Let us go to prayer. I give great thanks for this time we spend together. I know it is love. I know love points the way and law makes the way happen. I know we walk this mighty spiritual path together in love. And we hold each other and we hold ourselves to this spiritual truth that there is one life. It is God's. It is whole, perfect, and complete. It is the life of each and every one of us now. We know behind the diversity of all life stands the one life of God. It is all good always. And so it is. Amen. So, welcome. I'm glad we're together. Wherever you are, wherever you're tuning in from, whether it's across the street or across the country or around the globe, we welcome you here today. I want to let you know that we have licensed practitioners. These are people who went to school for years in the art of compassionate listening and the science of healing prayer. They are here to pray with you and for you. If anything comes up for you today and you would like to meet one-on-one with a practitioner, please stay with us after the celebration. We have a meet and greet room in Zoom. We have breakout rooms where you can meet privately one-on-one with a licensed practitioner for prayer support. So please just remember that and be here, and I'll see you after the celebration. We also have on our website a page with practitioners and phone numbers. You are free to call one, get prayer support over the phone. We also have a prayer request form on the website. So however you would like to be served in prayer, we are here to do that for you, to hold the truth for you, to know exactly what the truth is on your behalf. And that website is www.visioncsl.org. So visit there, get the prayer support, regardless of what is on your heart. You know, even if everything is going well and swimmingly and you're terrific, it can always get better, yes? This or more. I know that I hear practitioners say that all the time. So avail yourself of that. It can only get better. What else can I tell you on this wonderful Mother's Day? Yes, I know. We have a greeting. We have a greeting we say to people when they walk into this sanctuary. And so we're going to say it now. Long distance from my heart to yours. You know the saying. Let's say it together. whoever you are and wherever you are welcome here. You are safe and you are loved. So just resonate in that energy of love, because that's what we know God is, that energy of love. And I'm going to turn it over now to the celebration singers, who are going to sing our centering song to prepare us for meditation.
Good morning. I'm Reverend Jane Phillips, a staff minister here at Vision, and it's my honor to lead us in our time of meditation right now. So I will read today's quotes, we'll have 5 minutes of silence, and then we'll end with an affirmative prayer. So I just invite you to just settle in, to relax, close your eyes if that's comfortable for you, and take these words into your heart. Our first quote is from Oprah Winfrey. What I know for sure is that speaking your truth is the most powerful tool we have. And from Ernest Holmes. Until we realize that our own word has the power of life, we will not see clearly. There is only one life, one love, one law. It is the life, the love, the law of spirit, operating everywhere, always moving into a greater expression of itself, into a greater expression of its beauty, of its love, of its joy. It is the essence of all things, the core of every being, of every plant and mineral, and even the stars. There is no place it is not. It is the divine mother energy that nurtures and supports, holds, and loves its creation. It flows through every life, every relationship, every encounter. Spirit, God, Divine Mother, many names, but only one. There is only one. And this one is my life now. I am one with this energy. It is my essence and core. The beauty, the love, the joy of God is my divine birthright. And it expresses through every aspect of my life. And as I know this for me, I absolutely know it for everyone listening to my words today. Everyone participating in this service. The divine outpictures in wondrous ways, unique ways, through each life, today and every day. And so I know that this day is filled with abundant blessings, the blessings of love and of joy and of beauty. I know that every need is met and delightfully fulfilled. I know prosperity and abundant supply flow endlessly in and through each life and is joyfully shared just as it's received. I know that our physical beings are created in the mold of wholeness, and so they naturally align with health and well-being. So knowing this, it is easy to relax and rest in the arms of Spirit, of God, of Divine Mother. Open and receptive to the goodness and the love that bubbles up and just overflows. I'm so grateful for this truth, for this beautiful expression of the divine that is vision and that is our lives. So grateful for the gift that each person brings here to this center by their time and talents and treasure. All is good. All is God. All is one. So knowing this, it's easy to release these words into the law, knowing it is complete and perfect just as it is. And so it is. Amen.
So, in honor of Mother's Day, when Mark called me and asked me to sing for our moms, the first song that came to mind was this song called Just a Housewife. It is based on the stories of Studs Terkel, who was a writer Mark actually knows, who used to listen to him in Chicago when he used to do the stories that he had taken from interviewing people in the work life and have them on a radio show. I saw the show. It was actually the very first show I saw in San Diego by the San Diego Rep, and I just thought it was wonderful. Years later, I did the show with children, sixth grade kids that were absolutely phenomenal. And when we did this number, I had every girl in the company do the show. We broke it down, and I also had them get something that their mom wore, either a little blouse or shirt or an apron or jewelry, but something when they sang the song they would have that represented their moms to them. And when we did the night the parents came and we were sitting there, all I could hear was sniffles and crying because the moms realized their daughters saw a little bit of themselves in them. And it was a number that touched me. It made me think of my mom and everything that she did. And in this pandemic, not only have all of our moms been the moms that they always are, but they've been working from home, teaching school, being there as they always are. So moms, this is definitely, in 2021, your song. All I am is just a housewife, nothing special, nothing great. What I do is kind of boring. If you'd rather, it can wait. All I am is someone's mother. All I am is someone's wife. All of which seems unimportant. All it is just my life. Do the laundry, wash the dishes, take the dog out, clean the house, shop for groceries, look for specials. God, it sounds so Mickey Mouse. Drop the kids off, pick the shirts up, try to lose weight, try again. Keep the troops fed, pick their things up, lose your patience. Count to 10, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All I am is just a housewife, nothing great. What I do is out of fashion, what I feel is out of date. All I am is someone's mother. Right away I'm not too bright. What I do is unfulfilling, so the TV talk shows tell me every night. I don't mean to complain at all, but they make you feel like you're 2 feet tall when you're just a wife. Nowadays all the magazines make a bunch of beans out of family life. You're a whiz if you go to work, but you're just a jerk if you say you won't. People say that they think it's fine if the choice is mine, but you know they don't. What I do, what I choose to do, may be dumb to you, but it's not to me. Is it dumb that they need me there? Is it dumb to care? 'Cause I do, you see. And I mean, did you ever think, really stop and think what a job it was? Doing all the things that a housewife does. I'm afraid it's unimpressive. All I am is someone's mother, nothing special. What I do is unexciting, kind of dull. Take the kids here, take the kids there. I don't mean to complain at all. All I am is busy, busy. All I am is like my mother. All I am is just a housewife.
Yay, Rhea Carey. That was beautiful and so appropriate. Thank you so much for that lovely song for Mother's Day. So our theme for the month is Holy, Holy Uprising. And I think women have done a lot of that over the years, haven't we? And today's talk is Because I Said So. Because it's Mother's Day. And didn't your mother say that? I know she did. Things your mother said. In addition to because I said so, that's why. Let's think. Okay, stop crying before You know the rest of that, right? I give you something to cry about. I know you've heard that one. I'm not asking you, right? Fill it in. I'm telling you. Yes, exactly. And what other famous mother sayings? Oh, don't make me turn this car around. My mother did a lot of the driving when I was little. Don't make me turn this car around. Wait until your father gets home. That was another one. And my mom would say, if all your friends were jumping off the Empire State Building, or sometimes it would be the Brooklyn Bridge, but I was born and raised in New York, so was it some other landmark where you grew up? I don't know. I always think about that sometimes. Was it like if you grew up in the West, was it the Golden Gate Bridge instead of the Brooklyn Bridge? I don't know. But it was, if all your friends were jumping off the Brooklyn Bridge, would you go, right? Would you go? And if I told you once, yeah, come on, you know it. I've told you 1,000 times or 1,000,000 times or 100 times, depending on what exaggeration your mom wanted to use in the moment, sure. And there was, I close the door. Yeah, you know the rest, right? You weren't born in a barn. And I remember thinking, gee, Jesus was, how bad could it be? But she didn't think that was funny at all, not at all. Okay, so don't sit too close to the TV, right? You remember the end of that one, right? It'll ruin your eyesight. Yeah. Oh my God. And finally, can't, never, could. And that's the one that got me hooked. That was the one that always got me hooked. Can't, never, could. Because it was always in response to, I was whining about, I can't do whatever. And my mother would say, well, can't, never, could. As if I could do anything I set my mind to. And then, after that saying, I was given a whole list of things that I couldn't do, or I shouldn't do, or I wouldn't get to do, because I'm a girl. So that one really, really hooked me. And, it was one of those, oh, yeah? I'll show you. I spent a good deal of my childhood and my adolescence, and in fact, my young adulthood, doing all of those things I was told I couldn't do. Right? It was just so weird growing up, when I grew up. You could be a nurse, you couldn't be a doctor. You could be a secretary, but you couldn't be a boss, All of it, you could be a dental assistant, you can't be a dentist. There was just so many limitations on the things I was told I could not do. And so I grew up in opposition to all of them, I would do all of it. I'd go working in the wood shop, and I would build myself a mini bike, and I would learn how to ride a motorcycle and all that kind of stuff. Because I was not living my authentic life, I was living in opposition to, right? Which is still not your authentic life, just an opposing one. I was just living out an opposition to everything that I was told. And really, it took this philosophy of the science of mind and spirit to actually awaken me to my authentic self. So I wasn't living out of either someone else's idea of me or in opposition to someone else's idea of me. And I didn't want to really spend the rest of my life being the anti-that. Right? We want to live the authentic life. But I knew I was a strong woman, and I knew I could do anything, regardless of what the family said or the culture said or the country said. And we have a long history in this country of strong women. The women who lobbied for a Mother's Day. Right? They were not known as the fairer sex or the weaker sex. These were strong anti-war activists who were protesting on behalf of their sons and the sons of all women that were sent to war. These women like Julia Ward Howe and Ann Jarvis, and then later her daughter Anna Jarvis, these women who were activists on behalf of a Mother's Day, they worked very hard and diligently, and they were strong, and they were very, very upset. This came after the Civil War. They were so upset about sons being sent off to war to be killed in wars that old men start. right? And so they were just appalled by it. And so they wanted to create this day to acknowledge the strength that women have, the strength to support themselves and their babies and their children and their families. But it was bigger than that. Their communities. They wanted to support women with women's services and women's health groups. They created a Mother's Day work group, right? Mother's Day work groups. And they focused on health and hygiene and sanitation and clean drinking water. This was way bigger than the Mother's Day that kind of we have today, right? They weren't about the flowers and the candy, the chocolate kind of sundae that Hallmark made of this day. And in fact, Anna Jarvis, who lobbied to get the national recognition of Mother's Day, wound up absolutely denouncing the commercialization of this day by florists and by restaurants, and she spent the rest of her life and tons of money in lawsuits in opposition to what we have today as Mother's Day. And here's another thing I want to talk about. Mother's Day is not really about raising mothers as superior over other women, right? I mean, historically, it was the only job everyone thought we were qualified for, right? Because we had the plumbing. That was really all it was about, right? Girls were raised to be women who were raised to be brides who were raised to be mothers. And that was about it. That was really the only job that we had. But Mother's Day is not about making mothers superior to childless women or women who have chosen not to have kids, women who either didn't or couldn't or ran out of time or chose not to be mothers. Mother's Day is not a better woman contest. It is about honoring the strength of the feminine. And that's really what we do here. That's what we do here at Vision. We have a greater idea of Mother's Day. It's more an observance of the divine feminine, that divine feminine quality of God that is found in all of us. Men, you too. This talk is for you too, right? We all have both. This is the mystical marriage that they talk of in ancient scriptures. And Ernest Holmes said this: we are accustomed to thinking about the fatherhood of God. Jesus talked about our Father who art in heaven. And very often we begin our prayers with the words, our Father. But must there not be equal with fatherhood of the infinite spirit also a motherhood? See, he did say equal to. For the creative process of life, there is a blending of the two. There must be spirit which speaks the word of creation, and there must be the cosmic matrix which molds the divine idea into form and into experience. And that's what we're discussing when we discuss the strength of the feminine. We're discussing the strength of that quality of God, that feminine. And yes, we discuss giving birth to, but we all give birth to. Some of us give birth to children, yes, but in addition to that, we give birth to ideas. We give birth to companies. We give birth to bands, right? Musical groups. We give birth to procedures. We give birth to businesses. We give birth to thoughts. We give birth to new thought, right? We are forever creating. That is the divine feminine energy. Each one of us have that divine masculine and divine feminine qualities within us. The word, the seed, and the soil, right? And how the word becomes form. The divine creative process. The divine creative process. And we cannot have one without the other. And it is not a hierarchy. I know our teaching symbol, love our teaching symbol. You remember the V and the circle and the three kind of, but you know what? You can turn it on its side as well, right? You can turn it on its side, and you would have the word and the soil and the manifestation all coming to a point that way, because it is just as important to have the soil and the seed, right? One is not higher, it's not a hierarchy of one over the other. This is a divine companionship. It's not one over the other, right? So think about it. Just turn the teaching symbol on its side, and you can see how we move through the process into manifestation. The word, without a way of birthing it into form, remains an idle thought. That's all it is. The fertile soil, without the seed planted in it, grows nothing. The one can't exist without the other. They are companions. And this is what they refer to when they refer to the mystical marriage, the divine feminine and the divine masculine creating together. And in Living the Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes said, we must remember the law knows neither big nor little. It only knows to do. Because the word sets the law in motion, and because we can speak the word, we know we can use the law. For as universal as law is, it is also particularized through us. It specializes itself at our request and flows through our thought into performance. In making practical use of this, we must realize our word is law. And this is what is so important about that. Our word is law. Why? Because I said so. That's why. No, I'm only kidding. No, really, because Ernest Holmes said so. That's why. The mystical marriage is what goes on within us. The divine seed, right? The divine masculine is the seed, the thought, and the divine feminine is the soil. It is the creative medium that it is implanted in. And the ancient scriptures, it is defined as the union of a spiritual God and a human soul. And you read that all the time. It's in the Old Testament. It's in the Song of Songs. It is in this idea of the ecstatic visions of the Catholic mystics, right? That this idea of the human soul belonging to God, becoming one with the bridegroom and the bride, right? Presenting himself or herself to this greater idea. And in New Thought, we present it as the thing itself, the way it works, what it does, and how to use it. This is the divine creative process. And we understand that mystical marriage is not something we have to achieve. It's not something we have to get to, right? It's not something we finally arrive at on our spiritual path, but it is our own nature. It's our own nature. We are that. We are the blending of the divine feminine and the divine masculine, and we guide it and direct it to demonstrate in our lives. We walk this spiritual path to become conscious, more awake and aware to this power and presence that is already within us, so that we can learn how to use it, and how to use it for good, and how to use it for our lives. And in Love and Law, Ernest Holmes said this. He said, you and I have within us that thing which is going to manifest itself. And as we more and more open our consciousness, turning within to a greater creative lovingness and express our lives, a greater joy, a greater happiness, strength, power, a greater individuality, no matter what line it may be along. So we have free will within this power and presence. He goes on to say this, it is simply doing one thing. It is exercising its power. It is simply one thing all the time. It is power. It is God that wants to do it. Right? Ernest Holmes always said, the love points the way and law makes the way possible. But it is God energy which does it. Ernest Holmes goes on to say, it is not the human you or the human me at all. There is no human you or human me. There is only one divine life which flows through all, expressing individuality. That's it. And we must awaken to that God power is our power to use, to demonstrate. And I love that quote particularly because it's very similar to what Mrs. Holmes, Anna Holmes, told a young Ernest and his 7 other brothers. Yeah, they had 8 boys. Could you imagine? Oh, good grief. Anyway, it is what Mrs. Holmes, in fact, I just read the book. I love it. This one, it's called Mother of a Mystic. It's the life of Anna Columbia Heath Holmes, which was Ernest Holmes' mom. Mother Holmes, as she came to be known for years and years, she was another strong woman. Right? She knew her strength. She taught her boys right from the beginning. She taught them to read and write and math. She was a school teacher in her professional life before she was married. And she taught them. And she read from the Bible every single day. But the interesting thing is she raised the boys not to fear God, as was common in that day, in the early 1900s. So it was very common. Late 1800s, early 1900s, to fear God. And, actually to this day, if you believe the bumper stickers you see behind somebody's cars, you'd believe we still fear God. But anyway, she taught her boys not to fear God. She taught them to feel God's love. And in the Holmes home, interesting, okay. In the Holmes home, Anna taught the boys optimism rather than fear. And hell and damnation had no place in her teachings. So this was the foundation that Ernest Holmes got when he was a child. There was no dualism in her teachings. She taught a God in all, through all, and as all. Sound familiar? I think Ernest Holmes went on to found an entire faith philosophy based on that. And as the first practitioner class that Ernest Holmes ever taught at the Institute of Religious Science in 1927, Anna Holmes was one of his practitioner students. She went on to become a licensed practitioner, and she saw clients for the rest of her life. She served as a practitioner in the Institute and then later the Church of Religious Science for the rest of her life. She was the perfect mother, wasn't she, for Ernest Holmes to become the mystic that he became. She was another strong woman that Mother's Day was originally intended to acknowledge. And this is what the day is for me. It's about living that divine feminine, not necessarily birthing a baby, an infant, but bringing that nurturing, bringing that divine feminine quality, bringing that creativity into being in our lives, whatever we do, however we direct it, whether we make music or make math or make song or make babies, It's about that feminine quality, and how we do it is up to us. And it has to be balanced with the masculine energy. It has to. We are beers and doers. Doers and beers. We are both and. It has to be balanced. We are at our best when the divine masculine and the divine feminine are balanced within us. And when we move forward in that divine cohesiveness, in that divine balance, we are a mighty force. Ernest Holmes said this. He said, "Let us then prepare our minds to give birth to a bright future, filled with hope, consistent with fulfillment. And in this preparation of the mind, let's take thoughts similar to the following words and meditate on them daily. I live and move and have my being in the eternal presence of Mother, Father, God. I know this divine parent nurtures my every prayer into fulfillment. I neither fear nor doubt that the creative principle of life shall respond to everything I sincerely believe in my heart. Write that down. Say it over and over and over. Say it until you believe it. Say it every day. Why? Because I said so. Thank you so much.
Listen, 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 listen. A woman feels her power when her voice is being heard. A woman feels her power when her voice is being heard. So listen, 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 listen. A woman feels her power when her voice is being heard. A woman feels her power when her voice is being heard. So the earth will be healed by the women of the world. The earth will be healed by the women of the world. A woman feels her power when her voice is being heard. A woman feels her power when her voice is being heard. So listen, all the healers. Listen, all wise. Listen, all the healers. Listen, all wise. A woman feels her power when her voice is being heard. A woman feels her power when her voice is being heard. So listen, all the healers. Listen, all the words. Listen, all the healers. Listen, all the words. A woman feels her power when her voice is being heard. A woman feels her power when her voice is being heard. So listen, all the healers. Listen, all the words. Listen, all the healers. Listen, all the words. A woman feels her power when her voice is being heard. A woman feels her power when her voice is being heard. So listen, all the healers. Listen, all the words. Listen, all the healers. Listen, all the words. A woman feels her power when her voice is being heard. A woman feels her power when her voice is being heard. So the earth will be healed by the women of the world. The earth will be healed by the women of the world. A woman feels her power when her voice is being heard. A woman feels her power when her voice is being heard. So listen, 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 listen.
That was wonderful. I love it. Thank you, Karen Drucker. Man, we have the best music here at Vision. Even if it's not here at Vision, it's there at Vision. You know how it goes. I just love it. You have to tune in every week to find out who our special music is. It's so wonderful. And each week, of course, is great and better. And it always just keeps getting better. So thank you for that. Anyway. Now is time for our conscious circulation. This is our opportunity to give back to Spirit from our first and best, this is the idea of staying in the flow of God's good, staying in the flow of abundance and keeping that circulation going. And always, always giving to those people, places, and things that raise you up, that nourish you spiritually. And if Vision is that place, we are so grateful. Keeps us doing what we're doing because it supports us in, keeping the lights on, keeping things going, keeping these broadcasts happening, keeping us in the community, working, doing the work of Spirit on earth as you would see it done. So if you are choosing to give today, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Let us go within for prayer and know that God is abundance, that there is limitless good in the world, in the universe. We know and accept that we are part of that. We are part of the good of God. We are the arms and legs and eyes and ears of Spirit. We are the ones that allow Spirit to flow through us into the world, doing the work of Spirit on earth as we would see it done. And as we stand open-hearted and open-handed in the river of God's abundance, we know we accept gratefully, we give graciously, and we remain in the flow of good always. Giving great thanks, we know it is all God. It is all good, and so it is.
As I give, so do I receive, joyfully, gratefully. As I give, so do I receive, fully, freely. God is the river where abundance flows. Stepping into it, I accept and know as I give, so do I receive. As I give, so do I receive, offering my first and best. As I give, so do I receive, knowing how I've been blessed. God is the river where abundance flows. Stepping into it, I accept and know as I give, so do I receive. As I give, so do I receive, back to where my soul is fed. As I give, so do I receive, thank you for my daily bread. God is the river where abundance flows. Stepping into it, I accept and know as I give, so do I receive. As I give, so do I receive.
I want to remind you to stay awake. I know that there are demonstrations of answered prayer in and around your life all the time. I know that there are miracles happening, and you must stay awake and aware. Jot them down and send them to me because I want to know. This is what happens when we are on our spiritual path. Miracles happen. Conditions change. We know that prayer changes things, changes us, changes our lives, it changes the conditions around us because Spirit can flow through us doing the work. So when you have that demonstration of answered prayer, email it to me, would you? RevPatty at visioncsl.com so that I can share it with the group. Keeps us motivated and on our spiritual path. So do that. And now you know what time it is. I'm going to put up the mic. It is time for the last word by Johnny Kirko.
It's time for me. It's all about me today. Oh, it's Mother's Day, that's right. Never mind. So join us for our meet and greet right after our celebration. We have practitioners available for one-on-one prayer. Love to have you there. Say hello and join us for that. There's links on the website as well as also on the link right there at Facebook that Paul's put together. So check it out and come join us. Coffee Connection, Monday through Friday at 8:30 in the morning. It's led by Reverend Lori Sheets. Love to have you be there. Come and say hi. There's about 10 of us who are showing up each morning. Come and join and have some coffee with us and talk a little bit about us. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we're continuing our uplift. It's 1 o'clock Pacific time. Reverend Patti does the Mondays and Fridays. And then Wednesday, we have a guest speaker who comes in. Join us for those. You can see it on the website as well as Facebook, YouTube, any of those places that you join us on. Thursday evening, Joe Rathburn and the Folky Monkey will be back, and it's Carlos Almeida who's going to be our guest singer. So join us for that. I've not seen Carlos before, so I'm excited to hear him. Joe starts at 7 o'clock. We'll be on the website as well for if you want to watch it from your home. So we've been talking a little bit about our core council. If you are a member of Vision and would like to join us in that, please let me know and let us know. Email us at info@visioncsl.com. Love to talk to you about that and see if you might be interested in being part of the leadership team here at Vision. Reopening team. This week, we will be getting together with our team leaders, and then we will begin together with the teams. So you guys, we're getting closer. Very close. I can't wait to open up. It's going to be sometime, I'm not telling you, but it's soon. Next week, Reverend Patti Paris is back. Her talk title is Growing Into It, and we have Faith Rivera who's going to be with us. Love Faith Rivera. Want to give a big shout out to Rhea Carey, Mark Danishofsky, and Karen Drucker, and all of those amazing women of music today, of New Thought Music. Great, great songs. Thank you, you guys. Love your passion. And a big happy birthday to Ann Utterback and to Edie Richards. Their birthday is today, so love you guys. See you soon.
It's been an hour and you're sitting there just enjoying the songs and the prayers and the talks and everything, but it's time for you to stand up. We are going to do our affirmations, and I love it when you stand. I can just feel that energy moving within your body. So we're going to say these 3 affirmations. We're going to say them together. We're going to just ground in the truth of them. Are you with me? Are you ready? Let's do it. I speak my truth with integrity and align with my soul's journey. The creativity of the divine feminine flows in and through me. My word expresses love and goodness. And I like that one. It's short, it's powerful, it's to the point. Let's say number 3 again. My word expresses love and goodness. Wonderful, wonderful. Let's pray out. I know and accept that God is all there is, that there is the qualities of God flowing through us and as us in the world. We are that which thou art. We are the place where goodness shows up in the world. We are the place where spirit expresses itself as us. We are the love. We are the joy. We are the peace that spirit is expressing through us and as us in the world, changing the world wherever we go. I give great thanks for this. I know it is truth, and so it is. Amen. Wonderful. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Light of the world, I am called to be the light of the world. Light of the world, light of the world, I am called to be the light of the world. What will my answer be to the Spirit's call? Yes, what will my answer be? Will I give my all? Light of the world, I am called to be the light of the world. Light of the world, light of the world, I am called to be the light of the world. What will my answer be to the Spirit's call? Yes, what will my answer be? Will I